Good morning, everybody. Well, today is Friday and Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day and TGIF, everybody. My name is Mr. G. You're a meteorologist. Welcome to Elite Weather, and this program is called Your Weather Today. And we're going to be talking about today's weather forecast as well as a look into this weekend's upcoming forecast. And let's jump right into things right now as we're dealing with the remnants of our tropical storm. This is post-tropical storm Nicole, which was a hurricane, a Category 1 hurricane that came on shore in central Florida on Wednesday night. And that guy is now moving through the mid-Atlantic states and is going to be headed on off towards the northeast into the northeastern Canada and the maritime provinces. But now it has weakened down to a tropical depression, so it's post-tropical storm Nicole. But it's still producing a lot of rainfall here through the mid-Atlantic states and over toward the northeast. Some heavy rain, up to 4 to 5 inches of rainfall is possible in some locations. So we're definitely seeing some issues with flash flooding as well. And there's also the possibility of some severe weather possible down here across the southern fringes of this guy. And we have the added complication of a cold front that's coming from the west. And when this cold front starts to overrun this tropical area of moisture here, we're going to be seeing some snow through portions of the higher elevations of the Appalachian mountain range. So through portions of Kentucky and Tennessee, as well as in southern Ohio and southern Indiana, we're seeing a little bit of that rain change over to snow. And then we have our really cold air here through the Midwest, through the plain states. We're seeing temperatures in the overnight hours below zero across the northern plains, and we're seeing those temperatures at least to near 30 down here near the portions of Oklahoma and Texas. So it's definitely going to be cold out there once this guy passes to the east. And then as we take a look at our radar and surface map, here is that area of rainfall across a major portion of the eastern U.S., but right now it's not quite in the New England states, but certainly through portions of upstate New York, Pennsylvania. We're seeing that through Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, southeastern Indiana, through Kentucky and Tennessee, as well as Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. We're seeing a lot of rainfall. Some severe weather is possible in Georgia and Alabama and South Carolina, so we're definitely going to be watching for the possibility of an isolated tornado. So very serious weather conditions here. And there comes that cold front. And our southern end of the cold front here, we have a secondary area of low pressure over Arkansas, and that's going to help to spark some thunderstorms down across Texas as well. Some of those guys can also reach the severe limits. And with that area of high pressure coming over the Rockies, we're getting that weather, that flow coming north, from the north out of Canada and across the plains. And as this air curves around the base of our ridge of high pressure, it's upsloping up over the Rocky Mountains. So that cold air is getting just enough lift, and there's just enough moisture that is causing a little bit of snow through portions of eastern Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and far northern Texas and northeastern New Mexico. So some snow showers is going to be possible in this region today as well. But those totals are going to be very light, and it's going to be because of that updraft, that uplift as that air goes up over the mountains. And there's just enough moisture to squeeze out some snow. All right, here we are as we take a look at our current temperatures. Very cold across the northern plains today. Temperatures in the single digits near Minot, and we're also looking at those teens down near Rapid City, South Dakota. So the Dakotas and Montana is definitely seeing that cold weather, and we're also seeing it below zero through portions of Montana as well, where it's -8 there near Cut Bank and Shelby. So it's very cold over the northern plains, cold over Minnesota as well, in Wisconsin. We're seeing those 20s for the most part right now. Not going to see it warm up much today. You might hit those lower 30s later this afternoon. But if you're on the eastern half of the U.S., in the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and across the Southeast and the Gulf Coast, a pretty nice day as far as temperatures are concerned. We're still seeing those temperatures in the 60s, some 70s out there, and maybe even some 80s down there right along the immediate the Gulf Coast later today. And Miami, we're seeing a current temperature of 80 degrees. And over the West Coast, a cool start to your day. It's still pretty early in the morning on the far West Coast, so it's still temperatures in the 30s and 40s out that way. Now, as we take a look at our current wind speeds right now, in the Midwest, we're seeing that cold air come in, funnel behind that cold front as that guy moves off to the east, and that cold air is coming down out of Canada, and we're seeing those winds in those 20 miles per hour to 30 miles per hour. Certainly not gale situations, but it's enough to be quite breezy and brisk out there. So it's going to be a little bit of a wind chill in the air this evening, especially down here across the southern plains where those winds are a little bit on the stronger side, where we're seeing some low 30s. And we also have some 30s up there near Grand Forks, North Dakota, and Moorhead, Minnesota. So that definitely going to continue through the remainder of this afternoon and into the night. We'll see the winds start to die down a little bit tomorrow. But today, definitely dress accordingly to deal with some of these winds and that very cold air that's out there. All right, here is today's weather forecast across America. Again, that cold air and clear conditions are going to be there across the northern plains and the northern Rockies into the Pacific Northwest. A nice dry day across the western half of the U.S., but it's going to be cold out there across through the Rockies and into the Pacific Northwest, and especially across the northern plains. We're going to be seeing it very cold today. Nice across the Southwest. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s down in Arizona and Southern California. And we're seeing it warm along the Gulf Coast. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s and lower 80s down in Florida as well. The Mid-Atlantic states, we're going to be seeing some 60s and 70s with a lot of rainfall today, and those showers and thunderstorms and some of those winds as well, the remnants of that tropical storm. And then into your Saturday, we're going to be seeing that that front move a little bit east. So we're going to start to see those temperatures fall from the 40s and 30s to the Great Lakes now. So now that front is going to be approaching the Great Lakes and moving through there. And we're going to be seeing it 39 in St. Louis, Cincinnati with a high of 39, 43 in Detroit. But you notice we're going to be seeing some rain showers and even a little bit of snowflakes out there as well. But still in the Northeast and the New England states, not quite to your area yet. But you're going to see those temperatures in the 70s in Boston, New York City, 67 for D.C., and 72 in Charlotte, 61 in Atlanta, and Miami, 83 degrees, was going to be, again, the nation's warm spot. It's going to be nice down there in Texas with temperatures in the 60s and 50s. So a little bit of sweater weather, but it's going to be quite comfortable for you guys down there across the far southern plains. And those temperatures will be in the 70s across the far southwestern deserts in Southern California and Arizona as well. All right, here is finally your Sunday weather forecast. It's going to cool off across the southwest a little bit. LA is going to go down to 68 degrees, so a little bit cooler, 70 for you folks down there in Phoenix. And we're going to be seeing very cool weather across the northwest on Sunday, and cold across the Rockies, cold across the far northern plains, looking at 19 degrees for your high in Minot. 31 in Minneapolis. So very cold across the northern plains, the Mississippi Valley, the upper Mississippi Valley, into the Great Lakes. And we're going to start to see those cooler temperatures start to arrive in the Northeast. Look at that dropping down into the 50s in Boston and New York when you're in the 70s today. So we're definitely going to start to see that cold front move through that region. That is your weather forecast for this weekend and today. Have a great holiday, everybody. And remember to thank our servicemen and women when you come across them. Have a great day, and please get bundled up and prepare for the cold, because that's going to be our main story going forward through this weekend. All right, have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.